Good afternoon. Please be seated. So a good afternoon, everyone. I am Benjamin C. Withers. I'm Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences here at Iowa State University. It is a true honor to join faculty, friends, and families on this momentous occasion as we celebrate the achievements of our students. Together, we mark an important milestone in their journey, a culmination of dedication, growth, and accomplishment. Tonight, we recognize the candidates for undergraduate degrees in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, and we do so with gratitude for the community that has supported them along the way. At this time, I invite Allie Pauley, a senior in music, to lead us in the singing of the national anthem and the bells of Iowa State. Ian Lewis, senior in music, is providing accompaniment this evening. So please stand as you are able. So thank you, Allie and Ian. Please be seated. To our graduates, today we gather to celebrate your achievements, to honor your journey, and to recognize this remarkable milestone in your lives. This moment is yours to savor, to reflect on, and to carry forward. But it is also a moment shared For each of you, there are stories of unwavering support and profound sacrifices. Parents, friends, siblings, partners, grandparents, professors, and mentors who stood beside you, encouraging your dreams. This is their moment too, and we honor their contributions to your success. Please join me in congratulating them. I also want to recognize another group, the extraordinary faculty and staff of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. The faculty seated here tonight, representing departments across the college, have dedicated themselves to your education. Their passion for education, innovation, and mentorship inspires the growth of our students, and I am proud of their efforts to help you reach this extraordinary day. Now, before I introduce our student speaker, I want to take a moment to speak directly to each of you. It is a College of Liberal Arts and Sciences tradition to provide a medallion to each student here this afternoon. I know that you all have many memories from your time at Iowa State, and we want to send you off with one more memento to celebrate your academic achievements here at LAS. So take a moment now to hold your medallion and reflect on the 3 words engraved upon it: invent, discover, remember. These words, which also grace the steps of Catt Hall, encapsulate the spirit of your education across the liberal arts and sciences. Invent. You will be inventors and leaders. Your creativity will shape solutions to society's most pressing challenges. As the world evolves, so will you. Your careers may lead you down unexpected paths, and you may reinvent yourselves many times, but it is that adaptability that will be your strength. Discover. Some of you will make groundbreaking discoveries in science or technology. Others will uncover deeper truths through the arts, humanities, and cultures. Many of you will inspire discovery in others as you serve with passion as educators, counselors, or public servants. Remember. Always remember who you are and the experiences that have shaped you. Your culture, your communities, and your time as a cyclone give you a unique perspective, one that the world desperately needs. Your education has prepared you for more than making a living. It has prepared you to lead a meaningful life. There will be many opportunities to use your Iowa State education to make a positive impact through conflict, through change, and of course, through the best of times too. As graduates of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, you possess critical thinking, creativity, and communication skills essential to thriving in our world today. You know how to find common ground among diversity, to collaborate across differences, and to imagine a better future. Many of you have learned to work with state-of-the-art technology or have explored how to start your own business through our entrepreneurship program, the Start Something LAS Academy. All these skills will serve you well in building a meaningful and fulfilling life. Now, whether your next step is graduate school, military service, your first professional role, or an entrepreneurial venture, know that we are proud of you and excited to see the incredible contributions that you will make. So wherever life takes you, remember that the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences and Iowa State University will always be home. Return often, share your stories, inspire those who will follow in your footsteps. So please join me one more time in a round of applause for our graduates. This afternoon's speaker, Madeline Becker, will represent the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences as our student marshal at tomorrow's commencement ceremony. Madeline is graduating summa cum laude with a degree in economics and political science while concurrently pursuing her Master of Science degree in economics. Her leadership has been exemplary, serving as president and education vice president of Iowa State's chapter of Gamma Phi Beta. Under her guidance, the chapter rose in grade point average, showcasing her dedication to academic achievement and fostering a supportive community. Madeline also served as Director of Governmental Affairs for the government of the student body, representing Iowa State students at local, state, and federal levels with determination and a commitment to meaningful advocacy. Beyond her campus contributions, Madeline has gained invaluable experience through 3 prestigious internships in Washington, D.C. as a congressional intern, a business integration summer intern, and most recently as an economics intern with the White House Council of Economic Advisors. These achievements, in addition to many research opportunities, have enabled her to participate in these activities since her freshman year, and they are a testament to her leadership and her expansive involvement within the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences and Iowa State University. She will begin her career as a financial business analyst with Deloitte Consulting, followed by law school in the fall of 2027. Her aspirations include a career in public policy consulting or crisis management, where she aims to apply her skills to create meaningful and impactful solutions. So please join me in welcoming Madeline Becker to the podium.
Thank you, Dean Withers, for the kind introduction. My name is Madeline Becker, and I am honored to have the opportunity to celebrate with all of you today. College graduation is no small feat, and only you know the time, work, and effort that earned you your degree and brought you to this moment with me. But for many, the end of this chapter is bittersweet. The excitement of early adulthood is often offset by distance from friends, stressful job hunts, and your first attempt to pay taxes. Is it possible we have already lived the best days of our lives? In careful reflection of my time at Iowa State, there have been a few defining lessons that have assured me this is not the case. Over the past 3.5 years, I have picked up in degrees in economics and political science. I did research for the Katz Center for Women in Politics, and like many of you, I was a member of the Iowa State sorority and fraternity community. Together, we have given back to Iowa State as members of the student government, Division I and intramural athletes, musicians in the band, and even as employees on campus. More than lines on a resume, these experiences have pointed us towards something bigger. Our best days are not behind us. In fact, there are many more to come. The very things that make college amazing are the daily joys and purposes that lead to a fully flourishing and fulfilled life. As a child, I loved leading. More precisely, I loved being in charge. College has taught me there is a vast difference between the two. True leadership requires a posture of humility and a consistent placement of the well-being of all before the desires of self. A good leader must have a strong spine, but is nothing without a tender heart. As you leave Iowa State, seek direction from those who have gone before. And if you cannot find a good leader to follow, that is your sign to become one yourself. My second takeaway is this: join something, join anything. I, like many of you in high school, struggled to comprehend how I would actualize my dreams. There are so many noble pursuits, and picking one that is both feasible and enjoyable is a difficult part of any college student's journey. Performing research for the Katz Center was the first time it sunk in that I was on the right track. Finding a community of strong women taught me that I was capable of change like that. You and I are not alone in our dream-seeking ways. I hope friendships that will last a lifetime are just a few of the gifts Iowa State has given you. Finding your people and a place to belong is a crucial part of post-grad life. With the support of people in your corner, turn and give back to others. Invest in your community, volunteer, serve on boards, run for office. In doing so, you discover more about who you are and what we as a community should value and strive for. This brings me to my final point. Whoever it is that you are, be that person fully. True happiness cannot be attained without embracement of authenticity. For the past few years, you have predominantly been a student. While work will certainly play a role in who you become, remember that who you are will always matter more than what you do. As you leave this place, it is up to you to decide who you will be next. Will you be a good son or a good daughter, a devoted friend or a hard worker? I wish for you all of these things and more. My time at Iowa State has been an honor, a privilege, and a blessing. As you venture from Ames into the great unknown, I hope you continue to lead, find community, and be the best version of yourself. Commit yourself to a joyful life and know with certainty that each day only gets better. Remember to thank those who have supported you along the way and to hold the door for others as you make change in the world. Loyal forever true, go Cyclones. Thank you.
Thank you, Madeline. I'd now like to take this moment to introduce our faculty speaker for the afternoon and invite them to the podium for some remarks. Today's speaker is Jean-Pierre Tautel, teaching professor in the Department of World Languages and Cultures. Jean-Pierre's impact on our students' academic journey is unmatched, from leading multiple study abroad programs to his presence in the honors program. Jean-Pierre is a well-respected faculty member having over 20 years of teaching experience here at Iowa State University. Please help me in welcoming Jean-Pierre to the podium.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Dean Withers, for inviting me to speak at today's ceremony. Congratulations, LAS graduates. You made it. You are graduating today. No more exams to take, papers to write, or homework to do. This must feel good, right? I know I was a student one day. I was not born a teacher. Now you are set to start a new chapter in your lives. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to give you some words of wisdom before you leave Iowa State and Ames. Farewells are always sad. Believe me, Ames is less fun when you're not here, students. But I will be comforted by the idea that starting tomorrow, I can work out at State Gym and have all the benches and the weights just for myself. Today, I want to share with you some snapshots of my life experiences and connect them to a few bits of advice. So I'm going to tell you who I am. Make sure you take notes. I was born in Syria. I grew up between Lebanon and France and have been living in the US for 25 years. I feel that I'm a blend of hummus, French croissant, and an American burger. I came to the US in 1998. I assume most of you this side were not born yet. As the selected student of a one-year exchange program between my university in Paris, Sorbonne Nouvelle, and Hamilton College in New York State to teach French. After my 1 year at Hamilton College, I wanted to expand my experiences in the US. So I applied for teaching jobs, and I got an offer from Iowa State. When I announced to my colleagues at Hamilton that I had accepted a lecturer position at Iowa State, they congratulated me. I asked them, "Do you know Iowa?" And they said, "It's in the middle of nowhere." To which I replied, "Well, someone has to be in the middle of nowhere." I should add that although I have traveled to 53 countries, I'm bragging here, which is not a lot if you consider there are more than around 200 countries, I do enjoy living in what some people call the middle of nowhere, but I call the heart of America. I'm very happy to say that 25 years after moving to Ames, I'm still here at Iowa State, teaching French, honors seminars, and directing study abroad programs. To those of you that I did not get a chance to meet, please sign up for my classes in the next life. I'm also proud to say that 25 years later, I have become an Iowan, but I'm still not used to the Iowa cold. I swear, if the governor of Iowa knew how much I promote Iowa when I travel abroad, she would install a statue of me greeting travelers at Des Moines Airport. Now let me tell you about my life when I was younger and I had hair. I grew up in war-torn Beirut in Lebanon in the 80s. This was a time when Beirut was the most dangerous city in the world. In French, there's an expression to express chaos. We say, "C'est Beirut," it's Beirut. It's hard to explain what it is to live 15 years of your life in a war. For years, I did my homework in the basement by candlelight. There were no excuses for not completing schoolwork. Even if you had had sleepless nights, if you told your teachers that there was a bombing in your neighborhood and you couldn't study, the answer was simple. So what? I didn't also sleep, and I came to school today. I remember days when I was taking an exam, and my concerns were not that I didn't know the answer, but how I will go back home after the exam because of bombings around. Should I stay at the school, or should I start walking back, but which route? I could spend hours telling you more stories about the war. Not today. If you want to listen more, come to my office, we'll have a cup of tea and we'll talk. But what I retain from those days is how people responded in each situation. While there were some people who took advantage of others, many others stepped up, helping those in need, caring, and having compassion for others. My experiences growing up in Beirut taught me some important lessons I want to share with you. 1. In the midst of misery, we should not lose hope. One day, things will certainly get better. It's not because we do not see the light yet, or the light is not there. We should never lose faith in a better future. At the same time, appreciate the meaning of life. You learn to let go of some things because not everything matters. 2. No matter how much one sees hatred, love will always prevail. 3. Be a peacemaker. Be open to compromises and make concessions. Stubborn attitudes and fixed ideas will never solve problems. 4. Take time to enjoy life. Don't obsess over work and money. Do fun things, connect with friends, meet new people, travel and travel again, and see the world so that you can understand the world. So how do these snapshots I have just given you about my life relate to your life following graduation? You have been lucky in life to be able to get a high-quality education. Many people around the world will never have this chance. So now you have a responsibility. Put the excellent education that you have received at ISU at the service of others. Share with everyone the true Cyclone spirit. Even more so, lean into what you've learned in the College of LAS. You are curious, innovative, and inquisitive. While at ISU, you've had experiential, hands-on learning experiences that have prepared you to face unique 21st century challenges across different communities and cultures. My question for you, for each one of you, is not what will you do for work, but instead, how will you use your degree to make the world a better place? One day, many of you, I hope all of you, will be in important positions. Remember that your decisions will make a difference in other people's lives. That's my first recommendation. My second recommendation is to get involved in your communities. Give back to those who do not get a chance in life. Donate some of your time to help others. Share your knowledge and experiences with Iowa, with the nation, and with the world. Whatever your job will be, a lawyer, a doctor, a dentist, a teacher, consider doing volunteer work and being an active member of your community, regardless of where you land. I hope that the best is yet to come for you, Cyclones. Thank you, and again, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Jean-Pierre. My name is Amy Slagle, and I serve as an Associate Dean here in the college. Before we begin our presentation of each College of Liberal Arts and Sciences candidate, I want to share a little information and highlight some students who have earned particular academic distinction on their pathway to graduation. First, as Dean Withers stated earlier, you will always have a home here at Iowa State, and we want to help you as you transition into your career. In the program, you'll find some contact information for the LAS Career Services Office. remember that this office will continue to be available to you as an alumni of Iowa State. The Sci-Hire website that posts all sorts of job opportunities continues to be a free resource to you. Listed in your program, we have the students who are graduating with grade point averages in the top 2% of this graduating class. And you'll also find the names of the students who were inducted into Phi Beta Kappa, the nation's oldest and most prestigious honor society. We have many LAS students who have demonstrated exceptional academic achievement. I want to see if I can get them to stand up, please. So if you're in that list of the top 2% graduating, if you were inducted into Phi Beta Kappa, if you've got your honors cords for summa cum laude, or you completed the requirements of our honors program and you're wearing a white ribbon with a medal, will you please stand up for a special round of applause? You'd be brave. Come on, Cyclones. You've done amazing things. Congratulations. Some of our students, in addition to pursuing their academic degrees, are also preparing to become commissioned officers. I'd like to recognize Major Nicholas Stein, Lieutenant Colonel Frank Spurl, and Lieutenant Commander Tammy Lawler, who are here this afternoon representing Iowa State's Air Force, Army, and Navy ROTC units who are a part of LAS. We're delighted to have these leaders here to celebrate the academic achievements of their students, and we want to thank them for their service. They have developed these students to be equipped to serve our nation. And I think we have a couple of students who are preparing for military service here today. If you are preparing for military service, will you please rise and let us give you a special recognition too? Thank you. Thank you. And I'd like to give a special shout out to one more group today. To be a first-generation student is to be a trailblazer, creating a path where none existed before, and showing future generations that no dream is out of reach. Your resilience and determination have not only earned you a degree, but have launched a lasting legacy for your family and friends. So please, if you are a first-generation student graduating this weekend, please stand so we can celebrate your accomplishments. Well done, thank you. We know all of our students have worked very hard and persevered to reach this moment, and we are incredibly proud of each and every one of you. We will now begin with the presentation of our candidates for graduation. Associate Dean Monique Benken will join me. Students will be recognized by major, and as their names are read, students can be greeted on stage by Dean Withers and by their department chair or faculty member. This is a moment worthy of celebration, and we don't have 500 students here tonight. So if you want to shout out for your student and for every graduate as they walk across this stage, please feel free. It's a time to celebrate. Let us begin. Our first graduates today are in the major of advertising, and they'll be congratulated by faculty member Sherry Burkheffer. Emma Elizabeth Bryan. Emma's favorite ISU memory is performing in the Iowa State Color Guard at every football game for the last 4 years.
Grace Hoffines. Grace would like to thank her parents, Scott and Carrie, for their unwavering support during her college journey. She couldn't have done it without your love. and she loves you, Mom and Dad.
Madeline Turpin. Madeline would like to thank her family for supporting her and always making her feel better when needed. Her best friend and roommate Emma, who is her rock, and most importantly, her dog Gus. Whether it was a laugh or a hug, she's so thankful to have such a strong support system. We now present the candidates in anthropology. They'll be congratulated by Megan Myers. Stephen Mattingly. Stephen's future plans are to continue his education in biological anthropology and archaeology in grad school, get more tattoos, keep working out, get more involved in veterans groups in the community, and enjoy time with family and friends.
Jamila Abed. Jamila would like to thank her friends and family.
We present the candidates in biology. They'll be congratulated by Professor Yin. Kendall Michelle Bray. Kendall's future plans are continuing her education at Indiana University to pursue a career in optometry.
Abigail Ruth Burke. Abigail would like to thank her parents and family for their endless support.
Parker James Helgath. Parker's future plans are to be an officer in the Navy.
Caitlin Elizabeth Jurasic. Caitlin would like to thank her parents, family, friends, and teachers for helping her reach this achievement.
Michael Rohan Kumar. Michael would like to thank his mentors, including Don Sakaguchi, Kent Kirby, Kari Hain Whitmer, Jeff Essner, and of course his parents for supporting him along the way and helping him become the person he is today.
Jillian D. Lighting. Jillian would like to thank her parents for their never-ending patience, constant support, and unconditional love throughout her life. Her sister for the laughs and joy, her friends for their guidance, generosity, and good times. Thank you for supporting and believing in her over the last 4 years.
Camilla Medina Arias. Camilla would like to thank her parents for always allowing her to follow her dreams and encouraging her to never doubt herself. To her aunt and uncle for providing her with a home away from home, and to the rest of her family and her second family for always being there for her.
Lauren Smid. Lauren would like to thank her family and friends for being such a great support system.
Sloan Speeton. Sloan would like to thank her parents for helping her to get where she is today, her sister for being a study partner when she needed one, her boyfriend for helping her through the bad days, good grades, hard exams, and everything in between. Thank you all. We present the candidates in chemistry. They'll be congratulated by Professor Javier Vela. Haley Carol Christensen. Haley would like to thank her family for their unwavering support and her professors for their dedication to a valuable education.
Dalton Faber. Dalton would like to thank all of his new and old friends and family for believing in him, supporting him and his dreams.
Aya Gleisner. Aya would like to thank her parents, family, and friends for their continuous support and love during her academic journey. She could not have done it without you.
Nicholas Gonzalez. Nicholas would like to thank his parents, brothers, girlfriend, friends, and family that helped push him to graduate.
Nicholas Richard Piscopo. Now I know this. Piscopo. Thank you. Piscopo. Nicholas Piscopo. Nicholas's future plans are to work in industry or at a national lab.
Josue Rodriguez. Josue would like to thank his family for their boundless love and support in everything he does.
We now present the candidates in communication studies. They'll be congratulated by Professor Fornoff. Isabella Herdliska. Isabella would like to thank her mom, dad, and Catherine for being her biggest supporters throughout these 3.5 years. You were the best, and she could not have done this without you. We have the candidates in computer science now. They'll be congratulated by Professor Pavan Aduri. Brady Bargren. Brady's future plans are to be commissioning into the Marine Corps as an officer.
Wilson Chu. Wilson would like to thank his parents, hometown friends, and university friends.
Mia Harang. Mia's future plans are to move out of the country in pursuit of building a career in web development and design.
Antone Kordick. Antone would like to thank his family and friends who've helped him stay on track these past years.
Rishikesha Kaisandra. Harishika would like to thank his family, friends, and teachers for all their support. A special thanks to his brother for always being there, and to God for getting him to where he is today.
Ubi Mehta. Ubi's favorite ISU memories are rushing the football field freshman year and winning against Oklahoma State and celebrating ISA Diwali night every year.
Isaac Allen Myers. Isaac's future plans are to work full-time in West Des Moines at Tractor Zoom as a software engineer.
Carissa Riley. Carissa's favorite ISU memory is dancing with her dance team, Motion Sickness, at ISU After Dark. She loves showing students what dances they had been working on all semester long and teaching a drop-in class.
Rodrigo Santamaria. Rodrigo would like to thank God and his family for their unconditional support and love. We now have the candidates in criminal justice. They'll be congratulated by Professor Buffard. Parker Dean Anderson. Parker's future plans are to attend graduate school and continue researching the criminal justice system.
Dante M. Patterson. Dante's future plans are to move out of Iowa, get a job in the investigations field, and work for the FBI, DEA, or another government agency.
Adela Pivankova. Adela would like to thank her mom and family for your unwavering support and love. She couldn't have done it without you.
Melissa Romero Bonilla. Melissa would like to thank her parents for their never-ending love. Yesenia, you have been Melissa's biggest cheerleader. You believed in her when she doubted herself, Martha. Thank you for always being there to lend an ear to Melissa, and to Melissa's extended family, thank you. She hopes that she has made you all proud.
We now present the candidates in data science. They'll be congratulated by Professor Nemi. Blake Underwood. Blake's future plans are various great things.
Vanessa Whitehead. Vanessa would like to thank her family, teachers, and friends for supporting her through the years.
We now present the candidates in economics. They'll be congratulated by Professor Bunzel. Madeline May Baker. Madeline's future plans will be moving to Washington, D.C. to work for Deloitte as a financial consultant, and in the future, she'll attend law school.
James Earl Frankham. James's favorite ISU memory is late night studying and socializing with friends.
We now present the candidates in English. They'll be congratulated by Professor Schenk. Elena Friesleben. Elena would like to thank her family and friends for their love and support.
Tessa Caitlin Hill. Tessa's future plans are to continue her freelance work in language communication and marketing.
Violet Christian Middlecuff. Violet would like to thank her mom and dad for always supporting her through challenges. And we now present the candidates in environmental science. They'll be congratulated by Professor Nystrom. Morgan Dayhart. Morgan would like to thank her family for supporting her throughout this college journey and experience. They did everything they could to ensure this was a great experience and encouraged her to be the best person she could be. Thank you. We now present the candidates in history. They'll be congratulated by Kent Kirby.
Clayton Lee Davis. Clayton would like to thank his family, friends, and fiancée, Mariah. Thank you for helping him continue to stay motivated when it was most difficult. He loves you so much.
Jacob Carlton Knepp. Jacob would like to thank his family, especially his parents, siblings, and grandparents for being here. He also thanks his girlfriend, Korea, for being supportive and keeping him sane.
Madison Ann Adair Lees. Madison would like to thank her parents, Jason and Stacy, her sisters, Molly and Morgan, her brother Alex, and all the veterans she met at ISU, and for helping her get there. Go Cyclones, hi Mom.
Lake Nolan. Lake would like to thank the amazing professors of the ISU History Department and wonderful people at the ISU Special Collections and University Archives Department and his beloved friends and family.
Joshua David Poe. Joshua's future plans are to attend graduate school with the hopes of completing a PhD in history.
Carter Smith. Carter would like to thank his mom and his stepdad for always pushing him to get the work done, and his girlfriend Avery for always supporting him. We now present the candidates in journalism and mass communication. They'll be congratulated by Professor Bergeffer.
Joshua R. Allen. Joshua's favorite ISU memory is meeting new friends and having new experiences every day in Ames.
Phoebe Jia Unchong. Phoebe's future plans are to be a long-term substitute teacher at Ames Middle School, where she completed her student teaching.
Michaela Kafer. Michaela would like to thank her friends and family who supported her throughout her time at Iowa State.
Gus Dale Pope. Gus would like to thank his study abroad advisor, Ben McElfresh, who was the only one who didn't think he was insane for wanting to visit 3 continents in 4 months. We now present the candidates in liberal studies. They'll be congratulated by Dean Kirby. Isaiah Taylor. Isaiah's future plans are to attend Palmer College of Chiropractic in Port Orange, Florida, to pursue a doctorate of chiropractic degree.
Juliet Grace Thompson. Juliet's favorite ISU memory is attending Cyclone football and basketball games with her family since she was a little girl and being a proud member of Gamma Phi Beta sorority.
We now present the candidates in mathematics. They'll be congratulated by Professor Mayhook. Alice Alicia Kessler. Alice would like to thank her parents for pushing her to achieve what they knew she could. her professors for supporting and guiding her, and the people of the math department for being incredibly kind and accepting people. We now present the candidates in meteorology. They'll be congratulated by Professor Nystrom.
Bryce Brueggemann. Bryce's future plans are to obtain a master's degree in both emergency management and meteorology.
We now present the candidates in music. They'll be congratulated by Professor Svek. Kimberly Jeanette Garcia. Kimberly would like to thank her parents who sacrificed everything so she could walk across this stage and earn this degree.
Jacelyn Ryherd. Jacelyn's favorite ISU memory is her senior recital, where she had the incredible opportunity to perform alongside her best friend and clarinet professor. The experience was filled with love, support, and joy, making it a truly unforgettable experience.
Seth Watkin. Seth would like to thank his amazing girlfriend for supporting him and pushing him to succeed. We now present the candidates graduating in physics. They'll be congratulated by Paul Canfield and Raquel Ribeiro, two of our physics faculty members. Colin Brum. Colin's favorite ISU memory is attending Cyclone Rocketry's competition launch.
Marissa Higgins. Marissa's favorite ISU memory is doing demonstrations for kids with the Physics and Astronomy Club.
Kira Rochelle Richards. Kira's future plans are going to graduate school to pursue a PhD in experimental high-energy nuclear physics. She plans on studying the quark-gluon plasma and the origins of matter. We now present the candidates in political science. They'll be congratulated by Professor Tuckness. Emily Dubala. Emily's favorite ISU memory is being a part of the Student Union Board, where she met friends for life.
Jacob Gottschalk. Jacob's future plans are to pursue a career in agricultural policy and advocate on behalf of rural communities.
Gabrielle Ann Owen. Gabrielle would like to thank her amazing mom and dad for being so supportive through the undergraduate process. She could not have done it without their ongoing support. She also wants to thank her bestie and roomie, Reagan. She loves you so much. And she wants to thank her sweet son, Ashy, and her amazing boyfriend. We now present the candidates in psychology. They'll be congratulated by Professor Hessling.
Tanaya Simone Alexander. Tanaya would like to thank her friends and family for their endless support over the course of her college career. It is your love and encouragement that has motivated her to reach for the stars and make it here today.
Benjamin D. Avila. Benjamin's favorite ISU memory is learning about all kinds of different perspectives in his sociology classes.
Jason McClafferty Barrett. Jason's future plans are pursuing a graduate degree in counseling and becoming a therapist.
Ellie Cook. Ellie's favorite memory is the road trip to Texas for the Big 12 championship.
Jaden Marie Eggert. Jaden's favorite ISU memory is being a leader through the SALT Company and International Friendship Connection Group.
Alexandria Klein. Alexandria's future plans are to attend Mercy College of Health Sciences to get her BSN and then get her PMHND, which is a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner.
Elizabeth Coons. Elizabeth would like to thank her family and friends, the kids and staff at Orchard Place, and everyone else who has supported her throughout college.
Nicole LeRae McLean. Nicole would like to thank her boyfriend for always believing in her, even when she struggled to believe in herself. Your support has meant more than words can express, and she's incredibly grateful to have you by her side. Thank you for being her safe place throughout this time.
Haley Nicole Mickelson. Haley would like to thank her parents, Mark and Lisa Mickelson, for supporting her throughout her college journey and for your unwavering love and encouragement.
Jalen Marie Nelson. Jalen would like to thank her family for supporting her throughout the years of school and all those who have helped her throughout these last 4 years.
Morgan Ann Knowlton. Morgan's future plans are to go to graduate school to become a mental health counselor.
Justice Scott Rude. Justice would like to thank his parents, Scott and Alicia, and his brother, Silas, for the support and encouragement that they have given to him throughout his college career. He couldn't have done it without you all.
Mia Esperanza Silva. Mia would like to thank her family, along with Dr. Chan and the Mosaic Research Program, for giving her the opportunity to participate in psychological research.
Maya Silvius. Maya's future plans are to work and then attend law school in the fall.
Megan Wiestrom. Megan's future plans are attending Ball State University to get a master's in applied behavioral analysis with an emphasis in autism.
We now turn to the majors in public relations. They'll be congratulated by Professor Bergeffer. Marissa G. Burke. Marissa would like to thank her family and friends who supported her on her college journey.
Mariana Chavez. Mariana would like to thank her entire support system. None of this would have been possible without all of you.
Quinn Kelly. Quinn would like to thank her parents and grandparents who have been there and supported her throughout her educational journey. Even when she didn't make it easy on them, she is so incredibly grateful to have such amazing people who love and support her.
Gracie Lee Nagel. Gracie would like to thank her parents for believing in her through every challenge and triumph, her sister for her friendship and support, giving the best advice, her grandpa for giving words of wisdom and being a hero, to her friends for the role they played in her growth, and to her grandma, who she knows is smiling down on her.
We now present the major in technical communication and be congratulated by Professor Schenk. Samuel Curtis. Samuel would like to thank all the kind and caring people at ISU that helped to make these years the most enjoyable and memorable college years ever experienced. We now present the candidate in World Languages and Cultures. They'll be congratulated by Department Chair Megan Myers.
Octavia Grimes. Octavia's future plans are to return to Milwaukee, Wisconsin to work with an Operations Development Associate for Milwaukee Tool.
So once again, pause. Thank you, Dean Slagle and Binken, for that fabulous reading. That's one of my favorite things of the ceremony, is listening to the things our former students have to say. So graduates, we are incredibly proud of each of you, and we eagerly anticipate the remarkable contributions you will make in the years ahead. This is just the beginning of your journey, and we look forward to witnessing the impact you will have on the world. I now invite you to find your friends, family, your loved ones, so they can join in celebrating your success. Thank you, and once again, congratulations.
Where it began, I can't begin to knowing, but then I know it's growing strong. Wasn't the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching